Yo guys, in today's video we're here at Pigeon for round 7 of the Sprints Championship. I know it's been a while since I posted the last video, but I really couldn't be bothered and I've had some horror rounds recently. But anyway, this is the first heat of the day. We got Jake, Jack and Neil, Christopher, Fraser and Sam Lovelace, the main people to name in this heat. So it's a pretty decent heat here and we're starting P6 on the outside. So not a great starting position and some good drivers too, so let's see what we can do. We get a terrible start, but we close up to Fraser anyway. And then, I don't know what I was doing here, I just kind of like, I don't know, I just didn't play it right because I'd lost, I think, 4 positions there, all from people on the inside, which is kind of expected from where I was starting, but also not great because I don't know, I just should have done, I don't know, it just didn't go well. But now we're in P10, so things have not gone great and we've got a lot of work to do here because the P10 result is not optimal. So as we go through the final corner here, which is basically just a small lift, well that's what I was doing. Some people said they were like braking slightly, but I just did a tiny lift. Heading to turn 1, the driver in front here is going to not make a mistake but just go tight, so we get switched back on him, so that's a free move there. And then the 2 drivers in front are battling here, so we're going to look to gain from this. We try to follow the driver in front on the inside, but Morteza, or how do you say his name, Morteza, is always going to get a better exit there just because we came in quite late. Anyways, heading through the final section here, we're looking to get a strong exit so we can get a good move into turn 1, but we don't need an exit because that guy's car is awful. We just drive around the outside. It's not even like our car was good. I don't even know what happened there, he just had no top end and we just flew by him on the outside, because I can tell you that this car was not optimal. It had literally 0 grip on turning. I don't know what was wrong with it compared to every car I had on that day. The engine, or whatever, engine power was fine, it was the turn-in, it was awful. But either way, it's what you're given, so you just got to work with it. Now I'm looking to catch up to the driver in front. I felt pretty quick. I mean, I didn't feel great going into this heat with the few lap practice we had before you get on your first heat, because when I started driving I was like, this is going to be a tough heat regardless of what happens at the start. But anyway, cut to where we caught up to this driver in front. Let's see what we can do. We're pretty equal through turn 1, I don't gain anything. We gain a lot through the chicane here. Now we're on his bumper, he doesn't even know we're here, so we just send it into the hairpin, and that's a free move. And then the gap to Sam Lovelace is quite big, as you can see. I've got a lot to do if I want to catch up to him, and spoiler alert, we don't, so we're just going to cut to where we finish, and we finish P7 on track, but Jack and Neil had a penalty, so that's P6, so P6 to P6, which is not good, but honestly, I was only looking to maybe get a P5 in that heat anyway, or P4, P5, just from the people in it, and the fact that I was starting P6 on the outside. So anyway, the second heat, we got me, Jake, Joseph and Jack and Neil, a few names, and we're on P8 starting grid, so again not a good starting position just because we're on the outside, so we could get really screwed here. But Jake gets a really good start and slots on the inside, so he's got gained a few positions, and 2 drivers go wide here, so we gain positions through the chicane, and then I'm stuck in the middle of these 2. Driver on the inside forces away there, and we gained 1 from the guy who went on the track. So now we've gone from P8 to P5 on track, which is good. So at this point I was thinking that the top 3, they are quite far ahead, but you can easily catch up just by the way they're battling. Like, they're already going basically 2 wide and 3 wide. But at this point I looked behind me, and I had about a 2 car length gap to the driver behind. Looked at the end of the straight and saw that he was back on my bumper, so I knew I was going to have to do something to keep the driver behind, as I don't know what kind of fuel was in his engine, but it was nuts. And my kart wasn't bad. Mine was a normal kart like I'd had from pre-event, and well, heat 1, not the kart but the engines, like same. I had the same power, but the guy behind had some crazy power. Especially, I mean, that wasn't a good exit there, but regardless of that, anyway, we've kind of got up to this driver in front, so we want to be looking to get an overtake on him anytime soon. Getting quite a bit there through turn 1, and through the chicane, but we just get on that curb there, so we don't really gain much more on that. I mean, also in this heat, I just felt, I don't know, I felt pressured to drive well, because I knew how good the guy behind me's kart was. Because, well, after that P6 result, I didn't really want to get another bad result. I was just kind of looking for like a P3 or something along those lines. But the guy in front gets a terrible exit, and I wasn't really expecting the guy behind me to go for a move here, which he does. Good move by him. I mean, I should have been expecting it just from how much he gained on that one straight alone. But we go for a switchback here, and we get it done quite well, and we re-overtake him. I mean, just then, it didn't even look that crazy, the engine, like we were, I mean, I don't know, we were in his toe, and we weren't losing to him, but I can tell you on this straight, the amount he gained was nuts. I don't know if it was slipstream, but no one else is gaining that much on me. It's not like my final corner exits were bad. Either way, it doesn't matter. Full course yellow's out, so now we're going to be able to catch up to everyone else, which is good. Good for us, as we've got quite a big gap here. So I wasn't really expecting it to go green here, but it is going to go green. And get a pretty good launch here to the driver in front. So I was thinking about going for a move immediately, but I could see he was kind of drifting out, and then he makes a mistake by basically just ramming into the driver in front and then getting stuck, and then we'd hit into him because I wasn't expecting him to slow down that much. But then we're just defending the guy behind for the whole race, so we get a P4 on track, but a P3 because the guy had a penalty in front. So P8 to P3 is really good, and now onto the final heat, where it's like P1. And other drivers is George Lawler, Zach Watson, and Dan. So it's pretty a good heat, I guess, for starting pole. And all I want to do for lap 1 was just keep the lead. And that was my main goal. And you'll see here that quickly does not go to plan. I don't know what was going on here, but we're defending into the hairpin. Didn't feel like I broke too late or anything. We just get a terrible exit, and Lawler just gets an easy switchback. So our plan's already gone awfully, and we get gapped in one corner. I don't know what kind of pressure I must have been feeling or anything, but like that's another mistake there. Like there was no pressure going to this. Like it's not like I needed a crazy good result to get a decent position. It just, I don't know, there must have been some kind of nerves, but I'm not nervous for a heat, really. I don't know, it's just I wasn't driving well, is all I can say. As we're kind of just getting gapped from Lawler and just making small mistakes everywhere. I mean, I wouldn't care if Lawler got passed on lap 2, it's just the fact I let him pass on lap 1, which I shouldn't be making that kind of mistake. Anyway, my camera started pointing to the sky. Getting some really good shots of the clouds here. But into the first hairpin, Zach was going to send up my inside, and I didn't know he was there, but we just kind of keep it around his outside here and keep the position. So pretty simple, but now that I know he's literally on our bumper, I'm going to need to drive a lot better to make sure we keep this P2. And we do for a few laps. We're just going to cut forward to where we make a mistake. I mean, you can't really tell here. We make a really not a huge mistake, but a mistake where we get a terrible exit, and then Zach basically just drives around that outside here and into turn 1. He's got the position. We tried to go for a switchback, but he stopped on the corner quite well, so we couldn't do anything about that. Now heading to hairpin 1, we're thinking about re-overtaking him. He defends, and we try to go for a switchback or anything, but we don't really get the exit here, and it's an easy defend into that left-hander, as you can't really, if they're on the inside, you can't do anything. So then we just decide that we're just going to sit behind Zach, as we were pretty equally matched, so unless he made a mistake, I wasn't going to do anything, as there was like 2 people behind us, so I didn't feel like losing 2 positions or more just for trying to gain 1. So we set up with P3. Again, not a good lap time, 4.18. Anyway, moving on to the final, we're starting P13, and all the names you expect to be there. Max P2, really good. Jake P10, Dante P23, as he qualified first in the B final and made his way to A final. And you'll see in this race that he gains a lot of positions, that's what I can say. But you might be wondering, why has the footage stopped? And that's because I might have stopped one of the best races I've ever had, or not even the best, like the most crazy race I've ever been in, and I didn't film any of it. But don't you worry guys, I have a 1-to-1 replica footage in the version of KRP. So I'm gonna reenact some of the moves and things that happen in this race in KRP to give you an idea, as the result is just too good to not make a video out of. So you'll see this now. Okay, now for the highly accurate KRP 1-to-1 scale model race. We're starting P13 with Jake in P10, and our line gets a good start, so we're pretty near Jake, and then Jake slots in front of us, and we just follow Jake through, kind of like this, with other carts around us obviously, and then we low-key get pushed onto the curb too and take a bit of grass, but we gain 4 positions from that. Lap 1, as you can see. After lap 1, we're into P9. It says 3 positions, but we crossed the line in P12. But we were in our grid position, so we gained 4 positions there. Now into lap 2, we gain another position. I don't really know how, so I won't show. I don't even remember. Lap 3 is where it gets crazy, as we lose 4 positions, and Dante again is already ahead of me. And as we look behind, there's a driver behind, a few kart lengths behind. But into turn 1. He hits us, and we lose 3 positions to Joseph, Andrew and Jack O'Neill, so that's not optimal. The guy behind just made a mistake, or he said he had no brakes and just basically ploughed into us. He got a penalty and lost loads of positions, but we lost 3 positions then, and then we look behind and see Dante's close behind, so I was thinking, oh, we'll just work with Dante whenever he overtakes us, but he sends it in the final corner, which I was not expecting to happen. But anyway, the next few laps we just sit behind Dante trying to work with him. He was low-key just gapping us though. We had pretty much a similar gap, I just couldn't catch up to him. So then onto lap, as you can see, that's a photo of just me following Dante. But onto lap 7 here, we gain a position, and that is just because Max overtook Lazinski, and I think I overtook him too. But then onto lap 8, I believe, or whatever lap this is, Max makes a mistake, and then we're going side by side through the chicane, but then he low-key pushes me onto the grass, and then Lazinski comes through and we lose a position. So now we're back down to P12. Then we gain a position on Joseph on lap 10, which is a really good move into turn 1, late on the brakes, and we just get the move done like that, no contact or nothing like that. Now on to lap 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, nothing happens until lap 16. We gain 2 positions, and basically Max goes for an overtake into turn 1 here. He dives late on the brakes, but there's low-key hella contact, and then we try to push Max through, but then we get loaded from behind and then push Max out the way instead of pushing him through. So we gain 2 positions, and obviously we don't get a penalty for that because we got loaded from behind. I think they saw that, or they just didn't see any of it. Anyway, onto lap 17, we gain 2 positions, and this is because there's about a 5-cart battle in front. I've only put 2 carts here because I can't be asked to do the other 5 carts. But we go around the outside, we're side by side, and go around the outside of George Lawler here. Then we have Sam Lovelace, and he doesn't expect us to be here because we get a really good run, and side by side through the final corner, no contact, and we get a free position there. Now onto lap 18, we just settle in our position of P7 and don't do anything too risky, as we don't want to get a penalty or lose positions by overtaking. But basically there was a lot of defence going on in front, so we just joined the train, and we actually get P5 overall, as 2 people in front had penalties for racing on the yellow. So we finished P5 and P2 in class, so we get a trophy, as you can see on screen. But yeah, really good final for me, going from P13 to P5 and P2, first podium this season after a horror last few rounds and just bad season in general. But if you did enjoy that video, guys, make sure to subscribe, follow my Instagram or whatever, just subscribe, comment down below anything, and let me know if you enjoyed that final footage there, because that was a banger of an edit, is what I think. Peace out.